Still setting up AWS resources manually? Let's fix that. Today we are going to deploy a static website on S3 bucket, use CloudFront Distribution, and along the way learn some troubleshooting steps. And whole thing will automate using CloudFormation. Hello everyone, I am Girish Mukim, AWS Community Builder, Solutions Architect and Ambassador. If this is your first time on this channel, here we simplify AWS concepts with hands-on learning. That helps you level up. If it is you, consider subscribing. Today we'll go through manual setup first. Set up static website on S3 bucket, use CloudFront Distribution, and along the way we'll go through some troubleshooting steps as well. And then all of this we'll see how we can automate using CloudFormation. So without further delay, let's get started. Now let's get started. I am on Management Console. I went through S3, create bucket. First we'll create bucket, enable static web hosting on that, and then we'll talk about next step. So let's create one bucket. Let me give it some name, static web hosting. You can just keep everything as is. Don't enable public access as of now, and I'll talk a bit about that, why you are using block all public access, which is the default setting. Then bucket versioning, we are not touching it. We are literally not touching anything else. We'll use encryption, which is SSE S3, right? Everything will keep it as is and create bucket. Okay, the bucket is now created. So I'll just go to that bucket, and first thing we want to do is go to properties and enable static web hosting. Go down, you'll find section where we can enable static web hosting. Use this bucket to host website. There is new option, amplify app. I'm not going to talk about that in this particular tutorial, but there is a newer option. Let's talk about this S3 static web hosting first. So it is disabled. I'll go to edit, enable that, keep everything as is. Index document, I'll say okay, make it index.html. I'll not change bucket policy, nothing. So I'll just save changes. So it enables static web hosting. That is good. Without CloudFront, can we use S3 bucket route users to that website? It is absolutely possible. So there is no hard requirement that you need to have a CloudFront to render your website for the users. But there are caveats to it. What does that mean? What is website endpoint? When we go to CloudFront Distribution, you will see that there is an option to enable S3 website endpoint. I'll talk about that there. Remember that you still can run your website from S3 just when you enable static web hosting. You don't need CloudFront for that. And there are advantages of using CloudFront. I'll talk a bit about that when we go to that section. When I say static web hosting, like first let's go to, oh, it's asking me to sign in again. Let me sign in. Let's create distribution. I want to talk about few things. So now it's giving us option. This bucket has static web hosting enabled. When you use website endpoint, it gives you endpoint like this. If you see, this is S3 website endpoint. So what we are doing is we are fronting it with CloudFront. But what happens if you don't use CloudFront? So there are caveats when to use this one. So if you see, first thing to notice, it is when you enable your static web hosting, AWS gives you website endpoint, which is a public URL. When you say public URL, your S3 has to be public, and that is one thing. Then you cannot have HTTP support for this. Amazon S3 website endpoints do not support HTTPS. If you want to use HTTPS, you can do something else, and that something else is one of the options is to put CloudFront in front of S3. That is clear, right? So you can use only HTTP, no HTTPS, so that is not secured compared to CloudFront, and you need to make this bucket public. So these are two important points when you are deciding whether you need CloudFront or not. So it is good for static sites, which is simple HTTP hosting. This is still good option. It is not secured by default because there is no HTTPS, and there is not globally distributed CDN. So CloudFront gives us that global reach, which is content delivery network, but this particular URL is not. If you see region in the name, that itself tells us that it's a regional endpoint. It's no CDN in picture when you are just using it. Okay, that is pretty much it. The things are clear to you, hopefully. What is the S3 website endpoint? Now let's create CloudFront endpoint and use S3 bucket as a domain. So I'll keep it everything as is, but instead of bucket being public, what we will do is we'll use original access control. This is also interesting. What is origin access control? If you have used CloudFront before, you know there was an entity called OAI, which is Origin Access Identity. But now you're seeing that they made it legacy access identities. Instead of that, they're suggesting to use original access control. So before we create CloudFront distribution, let's talk a bit about OAC, which stands for Original Access Control. This is a secured feature that controls how CloudFront accesses content in your S3 bucket. In the past, we used something called OAI. I talked about it, Origin Access Identity. But now OAC is the newer thing, recommended approach by AWS. It gives us more flexibility, better security controls, and is the way forward for new deployments. So instead of making your S3 bucket public or relying on legacy OAI, we'll use OAC to securely allow CloudFront to fetch files from S3 bucket, and we'll keep S3 bucket itself private. So now as we create a distribution, we'll create OAC as well and then attach OAC to this distribution. This way all traffic goes through CloudFront and no one can bypass it to directly hit your S3 bucket. So this way it's more secure and it's a best practice. You can create OAC and attach it to CloudFront distribution. I already have one created, so I'll attach the same one. This is important again. You must update the S3 bucket policy. CloudFront will provide you the policy statement after creating the distribution. Same thing we used to do it when we were using OAI as well. What is happening is you created a CloudFront and you update your bucket policy, S3 bucket policy, saying that only this CloudFront distribution will be able to access my S3 bucket. You cannot directly access it. So there is no bypass. You has to go through OAC, and that is a security control it is talking about. It will give us a policy, and that's a good thing to have. So we don't need to write a policy for it. Let's see how it looks when we create CloudFront distribution. So I'll keep everything as is and create distribution. Web application firewall is really powerful service for security, where you can specify web-based CLs and specify rules that okay, you want geo restrictions, you want this IP address to be allowed or not allowed, denied. So all that can happen, but here for this tutorial we are not enabling it. Great. So this distribution is creating now. I want to show you this. The S3 bucket needs to be updated. Complete distribution configuration by allowing read access to CloudFront Origin access control in your policy statement. So this already has given us a policy. So let's copy this. I hope I did. Okay. And then I'll go to the permissions on your S3 bucket. So just go there, edit and paste this policy, and we'll review this policy together. Okay, so what does this policy does? It gives allow access to whom? Services CloudFront. So CloudFront can able to access this S3 bucket. But does every distribution has access to it? Up to this, that's true. It has, CloudFront has access, so any distribution can access it. But there is additional condition. So what we are saying is resource is this S3 bucket, and condition is if strings equal source ARN is the CloudFront distribution what we just created. So it is not allowing to all the CloudFront distributions on in your account, but it is only allowing to particular distribution. So this is important. I hope now it is clear, like you are allowing through CloudFront, but not able to access S3 bucket directly. So let's save this change. So this is good. We are covered here. Modifying it. So you can see that CloudFront distribution is still deploying. So it will take a bit of a time. So I'll pause this video and come back once we are ready. Okay, so CloudFront distribution is ready for us. And now this is distribution domain. So this is our URL. If you see web hosting endpoint, it was way different, right? It's like bucket name and all that. But in CloudFront distribution, it's giving us this URL. And definitely for real world, like nobody will use it like this. They will have their own website URL, for example, example.com. So that will be handled through Route 53 DNS record. So that DNS record will point to this particular URL, and that's how that will be rendered to your users. But for this purpose, let's go with this URL. Okay, so before we see like whether we are able to access the website, let's make sure that you are uploading index.html object in this particular bucket. So I'll just add files. I already have index.html file created. I will provide that to you so that you can use it in your demo as well. So let's upload it. Great. So index.html is uploaded. Now let's go back to CloudFront distribution. Copy the distribution domain and try to open the website. Okay, it says access denied. And I purposefully kept this error there so we can troubleshoot together on this. And there are a few things you should look at when you are troubleshooting it. So when we troubleshoot, we learn something from that troubleshooting exercise. So let's look at how to resolve this particular access denied issue. And access denied could be like you are not able to access this index.html. Index.html file name is different. There could be a variety of reasons why this happens. So one thing I would look at first is see whether you are able to access this file when you put index.html in front of this index.html. Great. When you put index.html, we are able to access it. So what does that tell us? That there is no issue with the index.html access on the bucket itself. No issue with bucket web hosting. There is no issue with OAC or whatever origin access control we created. So it's able to access that. So there is no issues there. So we don't need to worry about that. But why it is still not working? So by default, it is not able to take index.html as a default file. Bucket policy, we already have done it just some time back. And as I said, like if it is working with index.html, it do have access. So I don't see that's an issue. But you definitely, like as a troubleshooting step, you should verify this. So your distribution has access and you are allowing CloudFront to access it. So that's good. Other thing you should check is OAC, what I just told you. Check if you attach that OAC to your CloudFront. So what you can do is just go to origin. So usually I'll just click on edit and then make sure that okay, OAC is there and it's associated with this particular CloudFront distribution. So that is also good. So what else could go wrong? So if I go into general and edit this page, just click on edit. If you see default root object. So what is happening is the object file name to return when a viewer requests the root URL / instead of a specific object. So when user just ask for this without index.html, it should know that it should render index.html, but that is not happening. And the reason it's not happening is because we didn't give default root object. That was optional, so we didn't give that. So we should just put index.html there and let's see. So you save changes and go back. Just refresh this page. It is taking a bit of time. Great. So now you can see that it's working. So the access denied because it is like one troubleshooting step is just put index.html in front of this and make sure that it is able to access it. That gives us confidence that okay, whatever setting we have done, it's working. Second thing is what I just showed you. So you should make sure that the default root object is index.html. It is optional, but if you want index.html should be a default for you, you can give it that way. So this is good. I'm happy that we are able to access our page and that's it. Let's put our DevOps hat. Here we did everything manually, and the purpose of that is we can't automate what we can't do it manually. So for learning purpose we did it manually, but in real world it will be through automation, be it Terraform or CloudFormation. In this particular tutorial I'm going to show you how to do it with CloudFormation. So let me go to CloudFormation. I'll just create stack, upload a template file. I already have template file. I'll give you that template file to you. Name static web hosting. Next thing, I'll just keep it as is. Let me create the stack. Let it start and then we'll review template as well. So next, everything is as is, no changes whatsoever we are doing here, and we'll submit it. Perfect. You can see it's created OAC, origin access control, what we just created. So let me go to this. This will be interesting to see, right? So it's created web hosting bucket with some unique name, and only thing what we need to do is we need to upload this index.html. And for uploading it, you can use CLI as well. But for this tutorial, I'm just uploading it like how we did it for our earlier S3 bucket. Still in progress. Yeah, it takes time. And while we are waiting for this stuff to complete, let's upload our index.html. Okay, so upload it. Perfect. So I'll just go here, make sure that file is there. That's it. Great. So now let's go to this CloudFront distribution. Let me go to distributions, and you can see this distribution is being created, right? It's enabled as well. CloudFormation stack is not yet done, but definitely you can spend this time to go through the distribution, look at what we have done it manually, verify that like even automation is doing it. Specifically for OAC implementation, you can go to S3 origin and see it yourself that whether that OS is attached to CloudFront distribution, and that's awesome. Okay, and other thing we should look at is S3 bucket policy. You can see S3 bucket policy is not yet seen on the bucket, so let's wait. While we are waiting for CloudFormation stack to complete, let's look at template. So let's open it with Infrastructure Composer. You spend time and look at this template yourself. It has resources created like bucket policy, original access control, CloudFront distribution. Then we have the default root object, which is index.html, which we messed up in manual steps. Then like there is a output, which is website URL. You can get it from CloudFront distribution as well, but this is easy way to output it in a CloudFormation template. So great. We can see that CloudFormation stack is completed. You can see the status create complete. You can review what are the resources it has created. Just go into the resources and you can see it created a bucket policy, and that's awesome. We checked it before and it wasn't there, right? So bucket policy it created. We'll check it on S3 bucket directly. Then CloudFront distribution, we saw it created CloudFront distribution. CloudFront origin access control it has created. That also we looked at, and static website bucket, right? So this all we already have seen. Just we want to verify what is about bucket policy. It's S3 bucket. I'll go to permissions. Index.html we uploaded, so that was not automated. So we'll go to permissions. So this bucket policy is there, and it is exactly same what we did manually. You can see that it given access to CloudFront distribution. That's it. With this, let's go to distribution. This distribution, I'll go to the distribution domain name. Look at that. No issues, no errors. Everything is good. Manually we faced access denied error. Here no error at all. There you have it. A fully automated static website on AWS using CloudFormation. No more manual steps, no more missed configurations. If this helped you, give the video a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment what you would like to automate next. Maybe it could be Route 53, it could be Lambda, or even API gateway. Let me know your thoughts. I'll be looking forward to it. Hope you learned something new today. If so, please like this video, share, leave your comment so that I know this content is helping you. Don't forget to subscribe, and that's now. See you again with yet another exciting tutorial about AWS. Keep learning, keep sharing what you learn, and thanks for watching.